Cupcakes are great for office parties. Work from home.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for another exciting edition of East Coast Formula One racing. Today we are here for round 10 the British Grand Prix here at the legendary Silverstone circuit. Ready to get some racing underway. We're going to start with some qualifying. It looks like it is raining out there, so this is going to make things interesting. Not quite sure if we're going to have rain for the race or not, but we're going to find out shortly as everyone gets their setups ready to go and get headed out of the garage with some fresh wet weather tires. It looks like everyone is headed out on soft, surprisingly. I'll see if I can get down to Guitar Maniac. Yeah, it must not be too wet out there. Their engineers are suggesting they head out on the slick, so we'll see how these guys can handle the wet here. Alright, the Silverstone circuit first entered Formula 1 in 1948 with the British Grand Prix. It's a 5.89 kilometer circuit, 3.6 miles with 18 turns and 2 DRS zones. The current race lap record is held by Max Verstappen of Red Bull with a 1:27.097, so we'll see if guys can match that today. It's looking pretty rainy out there, but as I said, everyone is out on the slick tires, so alright, as Guitar Maniac comes through the chicane onto the Hamilton straight to start his first hot lap of the session. Headed through turn 1. It's pretty much a flat out zone, pretty interesting, even more so in the wet conditions that we're seeing. As he heads out onto the Wellington Straight, the first of the DRS zones. Followed closely by an AlphaTauri trying to heat his tires up. As he heads out of Woodcote, headed towards Copse, another famous flat out section. We have a wrecked car. Niru, a Ferrari, wrecked in qualifying. Niru and Dylan looks like they got tied up just coming out of the pits there. So that's majorly unfortunate for Niru, as his qualifying will be over and he'll be starting near the back of the grid. Guitar Maniac approaching the final chicane, ready to set the first time of the session here. He's approaching the 130s. As he crosses the line, he'll go 134.064 in the Ferrari. Looks like the next across the line is going to be the Haas of Hightower. Yuppie has a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Guitar Maniac, unfortunately. Just leaving the pits, I believe, by the looks of it. Alright, Hightower will come across the line to set the second time of the session with a 138.260. And we got a Williams coming around. That is Dissection. Sorry, an Alpine. 134.405, good enough for P2 at the moment. Looks like we got a Williams, Owen Wilson, 133.508 is the time to beat. About half a second up on the Ferrari of Guitar Maniac. Detail going fourth fastest, 135.399. Can see an Aston Martin coming around as well. That's Unholy Red Eye just about to start his next hot lap. He's followed closely by a Mercedes. That'll be Labatt's on a hot lap. On to the straight, going with a 150, 231. So either he's looking to heat those tires up a little bit more and put in another lap, or the rain is getting heavier. Monkey Mafia did invalidate, so he'll need to take another trip around. Looks like Silent Banshee is coming across the line in the Williams. 10th to 5th. He'll go 5th fastest overall with a 135.757. I can see an AlphaTauri coming around. That is highway is currently invalidated, unfortunately. Soy Loco just starting his next lap. Hightower is up on his time currently. As he comes across the line, he'll move himself up a few places into P4. A provisional P4, yuppie. He'll definitely be looking to improve on that. I can see another Williams coming around. Owen Wilson improves his time, 133.044. About half a second up on his previous lap. Alright, we got Hemi coming across the line. He'll go second fastest with a 133.1. About a 10th slower than Owen Wilson at the time. So we got a close battle at the front here. Smith Pell just about to start his hot lap. Unholy Red Eye unfortunately invalidated, so he'll need to take another lap around the track. Labatt's also invalidated, so he'll take another trip around. Williams diving into the pits. Highways will also duck into the pits for now. Got a Haas coming down the hangar straight. That'll be Hightower. About a second up on his time. Or down, I guess I should say. See, he'll opt to head into the pits. Do see an Alfa Romeo coming around. That is yuppie. Up quite a bit on his time. We'll see where he ends up here. 9th up into P5. Provisional P5 for the Alfa Romeo driver. 135.103. We got Soy Loco coming around. He'll need to take another trip. Hemi looking to improve his time. And he does. 133.014. 300ths quicker than Owen Wilson in the Williams. Hemi currently sitting on provisional pole. We got a McLaren about to start his hot lap. That is Dylan. We got a Red Bull coming across the line. That is Smith Pell. He'll go 8th fastest overall with a 135.446. Looks like Unholy Red Eye bumped himself up into P5. Labatt's getting into P8 with a 135.296. Very tricky conditions out there at Silverstone today. Looks like, yep, he'll dive into the pits. Got a Haas on the hangar straight. That is Soy Loco, unfortunately invalidated again. I don't know how many. He's on fresh soft, so he'll duck back into the pits as well. A few cars out on track at the moment. Hemi invalidated, so he'll probably dive into the pits right now. Dissection, I think, is on a flyer. He will dive into the pits. Detail on an outlap in the Aston Martin, just coming through the final chicane onto the Hamilton Straight, recently named after Lewis Hamilton. Sir Lewis Hamilton, if you will. Alright, Dylan looks like he invalidated, so he'll take another lap around the track. Smith Pell also on the invalidation train. Labatt's in the Mercedes will dive into the pits, followed closely by an Aston Martin. And it looks like we have an AlphaTauri coming around. That'll be Highways just about to start his hot lap here, looking to get a time in before the end of qualifying. Hightower coming into the final chicane. Starting his first hot lap here. It's about to come on to the first DRS section of the track. I'm going to check out the rear wing to see if DRS is still enabled. As it is, he opens it up as he heads down the Wellington Straight. Alright, as he comes out of Luffield through turn 8, headed towards Copse. As we saw earlier this season, a huge crash between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. There's a flat-out corner pretty much, so we'll see how many drivers can hang on to it today, and hopefully we don't recreate that. Oh no, and Smith Pell has a spin as he's going to complete his hot lap here. Guitar Maniac passes by him there, ready to set his next lap. Highways bumps himself up into P3 with a 1:33.956. Good enough for a provisional P3 at the moment. Jay Kelly just about to start his hot lap. Looking to get a time there. Got an Alfa Romeo coming around. That'll be Yuppie, followed by an Alpine and a Williams. Looks like Silent Banshee up on his time. Comes across the line, goes all the way up into P6 with a 1:34.2. Good lap by Silent Banshee. Oh, and Owen Wilson steals pole back from Hemi with a 1:32.692. We've now dipped into the 1:32s here. Great lap by the Williams driver. We've got 3 drivers yet to set a time. I can see a McLaren coming. Oh no! We just hopped on board with Monkey Mafia as he comes out of turn 2 and loses the back end in these tricky conditions, and that is one McLaren down. So we've unfortunately had 2 incidents here already in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. 2 cars down. Guitar Maniac improves his time by half a second, going up into P3 with a 1:33.4. Provisional P3 for the Ferrari. Jay Kelly coming around in the Black Arrow, 16th, up into P4 with a 1:33.808. Good enough for P3 at the moment. Looks like, yep, he's trying to improve his time. He's 1.4 seconds up. 11th to P3 for Alfa Romeo and Yuppie. 1:33.435. Looks like Silent Banshee decided to retire. Oh, looks like Silent Banshee was parked on the track there for some reason, but Labatt's just about to start his next hot lap here. Looks like Guitar Maniac will dive into the pits. Looks like we had just over 2 minutes remaining. We had a lot of yellow flags that keep popping up here, so Oh no, an Unholy Red Eye lost it as well. Must have bounced off the wall. I missed it. Hop on board here. Oh, the car got cleared away by the marshals. Coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. Just having a rough time there. Looks like Dissection just about to start his next hot lap here. Soy Loco on an invalidated lap, unfortunately. Owen Wilson looking to take another trip around. The rain must not have been coming down too hard today, as these drivers are all still out on the slick tires, so that was obviously the better choice here. Alright, we'll cruise on down to Labatt's. Oh, he's on an in-lap, sorry. The one remaining McLaren just about to start his next timed lap here. Getting a little loose. Smith Pell in the Red Bull, last year's champion, just about to start another time lap as well. Looking to get himself out of P14. This will be his final opportunity to set a hot lap, as is quite a few other drivers. We got another car off track here. Owen Wilson had an incident. Looks like he's missing part of his wing, as a whole bunch of cars go by him looking to get one more chance at a hot lap here, as a train of cars head through Maggots and Beckett's. 30 seconds left in qualifying. Soy Loco will have one more chance. Got the pair of AlphaTauris coming around. Hemi and Highways also starting their final hot laps. Dissection will take another trip around. Alright, Labatt's currently 2/10 up on his time. This will be his final opportunity to set a time. He's currently P13, 135.296. He'll go up into P12 with a 135.034, just edging Hightower out. Half a second up is Smith Pell. Let's see if he can improve. Currently sitting P14. The Red Bull Honda will go. Almost loses the back end, up into P10. A good improvement there for Smith Pell. We've got a few drivers still on hot laps right now. The next across the line is going to be Hash. We'll stay on board with him. As he heads down into turn 16, 17, and out of 18. Onto the straight, almost loses the back end. He'll go second fastest overall, even with a spin there. 133.010, 4 thousandths of a second quicker than Hemi, but he'll take pole position with a 132.584. Hemi and AlphaTauri Honda going fastest overall here in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. A great time, 1/10 quicker than Owen Wilson. They had a battle all session long, and it looks like Dissection's the last on track. What a great qualifying here. As we wait for these cars to be finished their qualifying session. Alright, Hemi taking pole position here with a 132.584. Joining him on the front row is Owen Wilson in the Williams. Hash and Yuppie lock out the second row. Guitar Maniac in P5. Jay Kelly P6. Highway is currently sitting P7. 8th goes to Dissection. 9th goes to Silent Banshee in the Williams. And rounding out the top 10 is Detail and Aston Martin. Smith Pell going 11th fastest. 12th goes to Monkey Mafia. Had an unfortunate accident there earlier in qualifying. Unholy Red Eye sitting P13. 14th is Labatt's. 15th Hightower in the Haas. Dylan will take 16th in the McLaren. 17th goes to Niru, and 18th is Soy Loco in the Haas. Unfortunately unable to set a time. So we'll see what the weather brings here. For the start of the British Grand Prix. It's another rainy day here in the UK. I don't know if it's raining any heavier than it was for our qualifying session, but we're going to find out quite shortly here. Currently leading the Constructors' Championship after last week's Round 9 of the Japanese Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo Racing with 265 points. Williams trailing with 209. The Drivers' Championship currently held by Owen Wilson in the Williams with 150 points. Followed by Detail with 129 in the Aston Martin. So a pretty close battle there for the championships. As we get the formation lap started, I can see some green wall tires there. Everyone's starting on the intermediate, so it looks like the rain is a little bit heavier than it was for qualifying. So we may have some good race action here. Everyone trying to get some heat into those tires. It's definitely a difficult task in the rain. But they'll do their best, that's for sure. Alright, as all the mechanics got the cars fixed that had incidents in qualifying. As the cars head through the famous Maggots and Beckett's and out onto the Hangar Straight. Very, very high speed section. Maybe not so much in the wet, but regardless, very quick section. Some synchronized weaving here as the cars near the end of the formation lap, ready to get this race underway. Hemi leading the pack, followed closely by Owen Wilson. Just blending together there, the AlphaTauri and the Williams, as they make their way to their final resting spot before lights out. Now the tension builds here for the drivers, for the teams, and for the fans. As the last couple of cars make their way to their spots here, where everyone is set. We're green flag. Looks like we might have an issue in the lobby. Maybe potentially, just like last year's game, I think Soy Loco joined her in the formation lap, which may have caused some grief. You can see his car bouncing around there. I believe we may unfortunately have to restart the session. Looks like a